Hey guys, hopefully this works. I just was cut off. I think our internet went out or something. Hopefully this stays live. I'm gonna give it a few seconds here. Let people come on. There we go. I think we're good. Hopefully you can hear me. You can see me. Hey Jess. I almost said happy Monday, but it's not Monday. I just lose track of days now. Happy Women's Day. Hope you're all doing well. I've got my Queen shirt on in honor of Women's Day. I feel very honored actually with this shirt. My daughters got it for me. They call me Queen, so I call them Queen as well. Losing connection. Okay, I keep getting a little thing that says I'm reconnecting, so I hope I stay live. You're on, but at the gym. I will accept that. All right, I'm going to get right into it. Talking about stress this evening. As you saw from my kind of headline, is this causing you to hold on to fat? And I'm going to tie all of that together, but I wanted to go through kind of some basics around stress and something that typically we ignore. It's kind of like on the radar, but we are just like dealing with it day to day. It is what it is. So what I first want you to do, if this, actually, let me have you do this. If you're watching this now or you're watching it later, I want you to drop in a fire emoji. Give me the little fire sign if you have ever burned the candle at both ends. Hey, Lindsay, catching the replay? Nice, that's okay. All right, so I want that fire emoji if you are a person that are now burning the candle at both ends or have ever in the past done that. So I want to see that, number one. And that's kind of why I titled this stress, and then I put the fire emoji, and then I also put the eye roll. Here comes the eye roll. What did you do about it? Fire, I see fire, I see fire. The eye roll means you just dealt with it, you just pushed on, you didn't actually address the stressful situation maybe in the best way. Like I said, maybe you ignored it, thought it would go away, and then maybe something happened that forced you to slow down. So again, give me an eye roll if you've ever ignored your stress levels, or maybe you put a Band-Aid on it, dealt with your stress in some not so healthy ways, maybe through coping with alcohol, eating stress eating, or eating poor choices, sugary foods, that kind of thing. I see some eye rolls. All right, so again, I just put that out there because that is so common. We are very quick to ignore the stress, or trying to conquer a goal. We have something in front of us that we're trying to hit, but yet we're not tackling this one thing that could cause a domino effect of all of the other things. Okay, hopefully we're still live. I keep getting the thing that says we're reconnecting. All right, so back to it. When we talk about stress, we know that there are a couple of kinds of stress. So one stress is acute. So something happens very quickly. Your body goes into like a fight or flight response. It could be like a car accident or something very traumatic. Send your body right into that fight or flight mode. And typically what happens in that mode, hi guys, I see you guys jumping on, awesome, is everything else in the body starts to shut down. The only thing important at that moment is to keep you alive. You are trying to survive. So this has become basically our society right now. Every single day is fight or flight, whether it's checking your emails, seeing the notifications coming through, phone calls, whatever the case may be. Just our day-to-day lives have become kind of this chronic stress activity. And sometimes we just keep pushing because that's all we know how to do. We just keep going, we just keep doing the same things over and over again, thinking there's going to be a different result. And really what happens over time is like I said, these systems start to shut down and it can negatively impact several different areas. So not only, I want to bring this back to fat loss, of course, but there's a lot of different things that could happen when you are stressed out to the max. So I just want to go through those real quickly. So we're talking about chronic stress and some of the effects that it can have long term. And really, if you think about this in terms of systems, I'm going to start with the reproductive system. So think about a female athlete. What do they commonly stop getting? They stop getting their period because they have such a high stress and such a high demand on their body. Their body doesn't care about having a reproductive system going. It's not time to have a baby. It's time to perform. It's time to be an athlete. So you're stressed out. Oftentimes we get sick. I, for example, have twice now gotten shingles, both as a result of high stress situations. And it just tore down until I developed a sickness. Think about it cognitively. Okay, so cognitively, we can sometimes work ourselves into such a anxious or anxiety disorders, depressive disorders, those types of things result from stress. Muscles, right? Digestive, here's where I want to tie it to the fat loss thing, is our digestive system. If that's shutting down and not doing things the way it should, how's that going to affect the types of foods we're trying to consume and the types of results we want to get from those foods we're digesting? So again, if things are shutting down due to stress and the amount of cortisol and stress hormones that are running through you every single day, all day long, we are just stopping ourselves in our tracks. So I had some people that commented on my original post that they stress eat. Some people didn't know this was really a thing that can contribute to the inability to lose weight. This is something that, yes, can absolutely hold you back. So I would say the one thing I'd like you to take from this is to really step back and evaluate what your stress level is, because we are never going to eliminate stress. That's just a given. But there are definite ways to minimize your stress. And if you are someone that's stuck maybe, and you're completely frustrated with weight loss, or you're just like, I'm doing all the right things, hands up, I give up, this is just, my body is broken, everything's just, well, that could be true, but there are things that we can do about it. So I'm going to give you some tangible kind of tips to take forward with you. And a lot of times when people think, I ask them, how are they managing their stress? I usually get like answers like, I work out, I take walks, I read books, I do yoga. Those are all great things. But I want to kind of do something different as far as this goes. Because number one, exercise is another form of stress on your body. So I'm not saying not to exercise, but I'm saying don't treat that as your stress management tool, as your number one or only tool in your toolbox. We need to spread that out a little bit. And exercise can become addictive, and we can start to overdo that as well. So think of that as a prescription. You can definitely overdose on exercise. That's a whole nother topic I can get into another time. But exercise, use it appropriately for your stress. But also things like adding things to your diet. So I posted something the other day that said, instead of thinking about subtracting from your diet, let's think of things that add to your diet. One of those things could be leafy green vegetables. Adding more of those in, it's going to bring down the stress levels. Avocados are great, berries and nuts. So those things, if we start to pile those into the diet on a daily basis, you might start to eliminate some or bring down some stress levels. Second thing is human connection. We don't think about this one. Well, we have probably thought about this one more so in the last couple of years with being quarantined and isolating. That can truly bring upon some pretty hefty stress. So one thing is to connect with other people. We're doing that very thing right here in this group. So I love that about this group. You guys, number one, I had you do the emojis for me in the beginning. Hopefully over time we can look through the comments and see we're not alone. Every single one of us is dealing with something. Um, and so reach out. If you want to send me a message, shoot me a message. I'm always available for, conversations. Doesn't have to be about fitness. Reach out to a friend, a family member. Just human connection is so, so important when it comes to stress management. The other thing is there's something called your vagus nerve, and it connects the brain down into the gut. And if we start to think of ways that activate that nerve a little bit more, you will start to notice a big difference. So you always hear about meditation and deep breathing techniques. So I've always struggled with the term meditation myself. I've been so anxious at times where I could not slow down and I could not bring myself to that meditative state at all. Like I would look at a yoga class and freak out. I'd run the other way. I'm starting to take a shift in looking at those things a lot more seriously. So I'm doing a lot more breathing techniques myself with my daughters, just taking a moment to create space, Christy did our mindful minute a few weeks ago. Exactly what she said, create that minute of just here and now, what is happening. And I encourage you, here's another tip, do that before you eat. So take 3 breaths, make sure the exhale is a little bit longer than the inhale, and see how that affects your next meal. Especially if you're in a state of like super hungry, you're hangry, you're just ready to eat whatever's nearby. Take that moment, breathe, exhale, take 3 big breaths with a very long exhale, and then see how your body feels before you take a bite. I seriously swear by that. Again, it's creating that space of like, I need this right now I actually don't need this right now. I want this right now, but it's not going to serve me after I eat it. I'm going to feel like crap. So again, deep breath and bring you into that present moment of, is this real or is this just me being anxious and wanting to get this meal in? Now that leads to a vicious cycle. If you don't take that breath, you just go ahead into that sugary, snack or anything. Guess what? As soon as you digest it, it goes quickly. You right away, you want another sugary snack. So it's this like constant thing. So hopefully that helps you. I wanted to give you those 3 tips to leave you with. Again, leave me those emojis if, number 1, you're burning the candle at both ends. Give me a flame. Number 2, give me an eye roll if you have ignored your stress or maybe you just don't know what to do about it. But a lot of times, I get the eye roll when I tell my clients, we keep track of things like stress. We keep track of things like sleep. So stress is kind of the only thing that we can't truly measure. There's not like a number to put on it other than saying like, I'm stressed out to the max. This is number 10 for me today. But like sleep, we can obviously measure how long and how good of sleep it is. Mood, we can kind of say, yes, I'm in a good mood, but all of those things come from stress. So it's like a domino effect. If we have a stressful day, stuff starts to go downhill. All right, so I hope to hear from you guys soon. And let me know